June 1st, 2022. What a day. What a day. What a day. I had a wonderful, wonderful day today that I could barely describe how awesome, amazing, wonderful it was. The day started off with me hitting the road before the sun was out. I haven't done this in so long. I was just craving for it. My insides were screaming to do a road trip because I haven't been on the road for almost 2 years, more than 2 years actually. And I just couldn't take it anymore. The last week had been kind of a drag, even though it had been somewhat productive, not very productive, not very good as far as getting things done goes. And most of the week, I was just lethargic, lazy, didn't feel like doing things. And come Monday and Tuesday, it didn't get any better. So this morning, I said, I have to go on a road trip. That's all there is to it. So I headed out, canceled everything, all the plans I had, sent everybody notice saying that I am out of town. And what a joyful drive when I started off this morning. It was partly cloudy as the sun started coming up. Uh, it didn't really come up because the skies were kind of cloudy, but it was beautiful. I was driving east into the sun and it did not bother me because while it was bright and beautiful, the clouds kept the sun hidden for quite a while. And then as I drove out of town, it started raining. And maybe it rained for maybe about 5 miles or so. But it was just gorgeous. All I could say was thank you, thank you, thank you. Amazing experience driving that I haven't done in 2 years. And I mean, long distance, unplanned driving. And that's how I had decided that I was going to go, get started in one direction, and let intuition tell me which way to go. And when the fork in the road appeared, I went one way and saw a jack in the box and decided to pull into the parking lot to check the map and see what was around the area. And as I sat in my van, I realized, well, I actually observed someone behind me on the street trying to start their van or their truck, pickup truck, and it would not start. It would not start. And the man tried to get out and try to move the truck out of the road by himself. And I just had to jump out of my van and go help him. So I pushed the pickup truck off the road into a parking lot. And it was just me pushing and him steering. And we got the van out of the parking road onto a parking lot. I waved bye to him and headed back to Jack in the Box. And that's when it hit me. I'm not as young as I used to be. I was totally out of breath all of a sudden While I was pushing, didn't feel anything. But for the next 4 or 5 minutes, I was totally out of breath. And I don't have an inhaler anymore, which I haven't used it in a long, long time. But it took me a while to catch my breath. I was running out of breath. But it was an awesome feeling. And then afterwards, I decided to head in a different direction and didn't know which way I was heading. I just head down Highway 146 and then came across the new Grand Parkway here in Houston, which is a huge, humongous 150 miles planned loop, which is the loop number 4, I guess, around Houston or outside of Houston. And this was the east portion of the loop. And so I decided to hop on it, and it ended up taking me into towards Pasadena, and I thought I was heading towards Galveston, and then I saw the sign for LaPorte, and I took the exit because there's a shop in LaPorte that just popped into my head. It's an old antique store called Junk Junkies, and Kelly Price, the owner, is a wonderful lady. So I decided to pay her a visit, and I walked into a wrong shop because I hadn't been to her shop in almost 5 years, and then realized I was in the wrong place. So I told the lady I'll be back. I was looking for Kelly, so I went into Kelly's shop and bought something, just a toy, a silly toy. It was a Mr. Peabody um, puzzle or a one of those. I can't even describe it, where a ball rolls through a maze and comes back to its place, and then Mr. Peabody's paw kicks it off, and it goes into the maze, and you have to guide the ball back out. Uh, and so I bought the toy uh, and gave her a $10 bill, and she was giving me the change back, and I said, "Nah, just keep it." And she goes, "No, here." I said, "No, just keep it." She goes, "Oh, great! I got a tip today." And then I saw an old small frame. It was a frame that had a 5 by 7 inch opening, and I kind of liked it, so I went to buy that. And she said, "We're even." I said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 wait a minute. What do you mean we're? That's not right." She said, "Well, you started it. I'll finish it. We're even." So I ended up getting a $3 discount between the two items. They were $13, and I paid only 10 for it. And as someone once told me, one good deed deserves another. So I went in my van and grabbed my book and signed it to her and gave it back to her, and just gave it to her. And on my way, I stopped at the shop that I had mistakenly got into, found something there, and the lady offered me a discount on on the price. It was a little canvas that said, "Kindness is contagious. Spread it." And I kind of liked it. So I grabbed that, a little canvas, and got a discount there. So, but then while talking to Kelly, she made me realize that the direction that I was going in was not the right direction to go into because there's a lot of road constructions down the road. So I turned around and went the back way towards where I was going, and oh wow, what a joy! What a bliss! Ended up in Galveston at a pizza place that I knew was there. Didn't know what the name was, but I knew where it was, sort of, kind of. And I found it and had a calzone. Wow, wonderful, wonderful experience. And Finally came home about 8 o'clock in the evening and tried to rest it. But considering that the last 3, 4 days that I've been lethargic and lazy and taking naps all day long, 2, 3, 4 hour naps a couple of times a day, going to bed early. And when I laid down around 8:30, I couldn't fall asleep. I was so energized. And then I look on the phone and there's a message from someone who was talking about cosmic sprinkles. Now, if you don't know what cosmic sprinkles are, you'd have to listen to my podcast, Embrace Your Inner Weirdo, and the interview that I did with Stacy O'Donnell. I believe it was, I want to say episode 20 something, Stacy O'Donnell. And I'll put a link down below once I find it. She calls them cosmic sprinkles. Most people call them synchronicities, others call them God winks. And I had mentioned that to someone online who was looking for Illusions by Richard Bach in a used bookstores and came across Esquire Rushnell's When God Winks. And I mentioned to him that a friend of mine calls them cosmic sprinkles. And so as I laid on my bed trying to go to sleep, um, I checked the phone and there was a message from Stacy Ordinary. Oh my God, friend, you would not believe the cosmic sprinkles I experienced today. And you started it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I said, I want to hear all about it. I haven't heard back from her, but what might have started was a little message that I sent her that I found on my Facebook feed. And it's from Mike Dooley in his Notes from the Universe page that showed up on my Facebook feed. It says, it only takes one idea, 1 second in time, one friend, one dream, one leap of faith to change everything forever. Signed by the universe. And I shared that with several friends, Stacy being one of them. So I don't know what her cosmic sprinkle ended up being, and hopefully I will get some details. And if I do, I'll share it with you. But it has been a wonderful day overall. I am thrilled, excited, and energized to move forward. And I also realized why I had been postponing writing my Route 66 book for the last 6 years. And I'll tell you about that tomorrow because this has already gone quite a while. So, with that, I'm going to bid you farewell for the night and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a blessed night.